morning. Hey, welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 968. Happy Sunday. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a fun-filled hobby weekend on Saturday, hobby day. Speaking of episodes, we're at 968. I did the count. It's still up in the air, but it appears that episode 1000, our 1000th episode extravaganza, will be on Monday, October 9th. Now, that is assuming I do go live this coming Friday, because I have Club 400 on Thursday night with Sean Dunstan, Brian McRae. So I will be there Thursday night, but we are coming back Thursday night. So I might just do a hangover edition Friday morning, a little later than normal. There will be an episode Saturday. No shows Saturday, but I do have a card show in St. Charles, Illinois on Sunday, a week from today, September 10th. So no Hobby Evolution on September 10th. I think my weekend is clear the 16th and 17th. I also want to look at I want to get back for one of my high school football games. They host 2 games this year. So if it's the 15th, maybe I head down. I don't know. So 23rd and 24th, no shows. I'll be set up at the 2-day Loves Park show at the Indoor Sports Center. So no live shows on the 23rd, 24th. Saturday, September 30th is the Madison card show. No Hobby Evolution that day. Right now, I can't remember if I have anything October 7th or 8th. I am terrible at putting things in my calendar. I have a wedding, I think, the following weekend. So if all of that lines up, it looks like Monday, October 9th will be episode 1000. So what we'll do is we'll go live like normal at 7 a.m. You can call in. We'll take guests. So anybody that wants to join in can pop on Monday morning, October 9th, if that's whenever the 1000th episode is. And then we'll do part 2. We'll go live in the evening, 7 p.m. Central. So that's how we're going to roll things out. And it'll be just like normal. Maybe I'll get some packs to open or something. I don't know. But otherwise, it'll be business as usual. We'll just let you call in and join the fun and the celebration. So that's what I got. Let's see the chat. What's going on, chat? Todd's in the house. Good morning. We've got Zach and Porter. Got to see Zach and Porter. We hung out at the Oak Creek card show yesterday, dug through some bargain boxes. So I'm going to share my takes on the show yesterday, along with filming the card live. Mark Marinello, good morning. Happy Sunday. We've got Dorky Angler in the house. Donald, good morning to you. Hall of Fame card collector, good morning from work. I like it. I like the multitasking. Zach and Porter says, I'm here for solely to agree en masse with bot opinions of you. The show has become second. Hopefully we don't get the bot. It's been 2 days in a row, right? Was it Friday when we were bombarded with the bots, and then we got them again yesterday. So hopefully we can avoid that today. Talking Tatis, good morning. What is up? Hope all went well yesterday. Everything was smooth sailing. Good morning, Angel Baby Cards in the house out there on the West Coast. Little West Coast friendly time this morning. 9 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. What do you call it? West Coast time? Brain freeze. Good morning, Sal Dougie. Good morning, Joe. What's happening? We've got Matt Royals 417 in the house. Do both shows come with the basic subscription? Yes, absolutely. Braves handed the Dodgers their arse last night. And the Cubs, 2 games in a row, give up a lead late in the game and lose. Bummer. So I didn't look at the standings. I was kind of pissed off. So what's the standings look like? And it's like people are like blaming the bull. Like, don't blame the bullpen when you score 1 run a game. Like, blame the offense for not scoring more runs. Javier Assad went 8 innings. of shutout ball. It's 1-0, ninth inning. Bullpen comes in, lose the game. Frustrating. Hopefully doesn't happen again. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. National League Central standings. Cubs 4.5 out of the Brewers. Wild card race. Cubs still hold the second wild card after losing 2 straight games. The Diamondbacks and Giants are 2 games back. They are currently tied for that third wild. Oh, the Reds are right there too. Reds have more losses, but 1 more win than the Giants and Diamondbacks. And the Marlins are kind of in the hunt. The Marlins are only a game out of that third wild card spot. So it's going to be interesting here down the stretch, the month of September for baseball. That's another, and I think we looked at the calendar yesterday. I haven't been to a Cubs game at Wrigley. It's like, well, I'm holding out for the playoffs, I guess. Playoffs. I'd like to get there for a regular season game, but I just don't know if it's going to work with my schedule. So that could throw off our scheduling for episode 1000 as well. Hall of Fame card collector wants to know giveaways. Yeah, people do giveaways, right? On milestones like this. I don't know. I used to do giveaways. It was just to build my follower count on Twitter. I used to do giveaways all the time. We did what was the let's go back. Let's go back in time travel early on in the 1 Million Cubs project. Blog. I think it was December of 2018. Yes. Let's see if I can find it. Did a little thing during the Christmas season. What did I call it? Merry Cardsmas. Is that Merry Christmas? 250K. Okay, so it must have been 2019. Merry Cardsmas was a little thing I did in December of 2019, I assume. Christmas week mail days. Oh, this is. Let's go down to older posts. Maybe it was 2018. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. November. Okay, so it must have been 2018. Blog. I just don't think I went back far enough. December 2018. Let's go all the way back. Oh yeah, I did a lot of blogging in 2018. I used to blog every day, almost every day. December 4th. Jeez, when? Jeez, Louise. When the hell did I could have swore I did this on my blog. I know it was a Twitter thing, but I'm positive I did something on my blog. It's kind of fun going back through my old blogs. It's been a while. I could have swore it was 2018. Apparently not. Unless I just didn't blog about it in 20. Unless I just introduced it in 20 or in November. This is just riveting programming, right? Riveting. November 2018. So yeah, it would be towards the end. What in the hell? Cubs cameos. That was a fun. Merry Cardsmas. It was in 2018. A Merry Cardsmas preview. So let's share the screen. 2018, I did this. Can you believe that's been 5 years? Share screen. November 2018. Let's full screen it. A Merry Cardsmas preview. There you go. Merry Cardsmas. Ooh, JD Martinez, Ginter napkin relic. Happy Thanksgiving beginning tonight. Merry Cardsmas will be a daily card giveaway going through Christmas Eve. I think I started it from Black Friday through Christmas Eve. Might have been my first foray with Canva. Wow. Didn't realize I've been using it that long. Each night, I'll announce a new giveaway on Twitter. Simply follow 1 Million Cubs on Twitter. Follow any instructions for each giveaway. Here's a sample of what's going to be given away. So we had a Juan Soto rookie debut and a Juan Soto Topps Chrome rookie debut, some Trout inserts. Ooh, a hobby box of 89 Donruss. Vintage, 62 Topps, Warren Spahn. We got some hobby packs, 2017 Series 2. I think I had one of those left over, and we did one of those on Name That Player. Ooh, a JD Martinez relic. I'm pretty sure I gave away a lot of Shohei Ohtani rookie cards that year. Also, an unrelated giveaway will be a 2018 Topps Heritage Miners hobby box. Ooh, I'd like to have that now. Once 1 million Cubs reaches 5,000 followers, it will be given away. And it took a long time to get to 5,000. I remember that was work, getting to 5,000 followers on Twitter. So that was Merry Cardsmas, a little blast from the past, 2018. Chris in the house from Oregon. What's up? Big win for my alma mater, Fresno State, yesterday. Purdue paid us $1.3 million to get beat. That's the fun of those money games. Pay that big money and David slays Goliath. I love it. Good morning, AA Cards in the house. James is here. Oak Creek was awesome. A lot of bulk buys. That's interesting, James. I was there, and I had the opposite opinion. I thought it sucked, actually, but I didn't get there till like 12:30. That is interesting. That is interesting you say that, because the afternoon was a suck fest. I did not buy, I'll just tease it here, I did not buy a single card at the Oak Creek Card Show. Not a single card. At the end of the day, Zach and Porter and I were digging through some quarter boxes, and I could not find, I think I had like 4 cards that I'd kind of set aside. Like, if I can find enough, I'll buy, like, if I get $5 worth of cards or whatever, I'll buy cards. But if I only find 4 or 5, I'm just going to let it go. So I let it go. So didn't buy a single card yesterday. We'll talk more about my experience at the Oak Creek show here momentarily. Pacific Coast time. Oh yeah, duh. I haven't had enough coffee yet. I forgot my mug. I took a mug of coffee on my drive over to Milwaukee yesterday morning, but I didn't drink any. I had like 1 sip, and I'm like, I'm done with coffee for the day. So I did bring a bottle of water, so I drank water. And then I left the bottle in my car. It's because the reason I left my bottle in my coffee mug was because I stopped at Total Wine. I always forget the name of the liquor store. It's a giant liquor store. It's like a Walmart super center of nothing but alcohol. And so I stopped there on my way home yesterday afternoon because we have friends coming over. So I had to get some, mixer beers and just random shit. So I stopped there. So I had a bunch of beer to bring in the house. And that's why I forgot to bring in my coffee mug. So I only have my lone coffee cup today. So I'm going to be jonesing by the end of Hobby Evolution for another cup of coffee. Pacific Coast time. Morning, Johnny M. What's up? Good morning. Happy Sunday. How about the Colorado Buffs? Wow, what about that? Dion, Coach Prime, and his son, what's his name? Shedeur Sanders, like 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, I think. Colorado beats TCU, who played in the national championship game last year. Woo! Coach Prime and the Buffs. Love it. Love it. I was listening to the Badger game on the radio on my drive home, and they struggled against Buffalo. They did kind of turn it around toward the end. What was the final score? I think they won by a couple touchdowns, but it was not a pretty victory. You think, it's like, well, they probably paid Buffalo to come in and beat them. And, those are the games that fans think should be blowouts, and they're not. So let's see. Saturday. So top 25 scoreboard, TCU lost to Colorado. We just mentioned that. Michigan beat East Carolina. Iowa beat Utah State. That was kind of a close game, 24-14. Here's the games you expect to see out of week 1, the cupcake games. Oklahoma 73, Arkansas State 0. Tennessee whooped Virginia. Ole Miss 73-7 victory over Mercer. Oregon, the Ducks beat Portland State 81-7. These are the scores that are fun. 56-3 win for Notre Dame over Tennessee State. Wisconsin ended up winning 38-17. Ohio State had a little struggle with Indiana, 23-3. Any other fun scores? Georgia, where's Herman at? The Bulldogs. I know Georgia. Herman might be sleeping in. He was tailgating yesterday. They beat Tennessee Martin 48-7. Alabama beat Middle Tennessee 56-7. So there you go. Little college football action yesterday. Steel Cards, what's up? Good morning. There's Angel Baby getting some coffee. Grab me a cup. Dorky Angler says they looked really good yesterday. Mark got home from work in time to see Daniel Vogelbach try and stretch a single to a double. Too bad he's fast as a glacier. Old Vogie. Old Dan Vogelbach. Johnny says he got approved on Hobby Evolution Facebook. There you go. Hit up the Facebook group, Hobby Evolution. Just search it in. And there's some good conversations, some good chats. You'll learn some stuff. Hobby Evolution on Facebook. Good morning, Victor. What's up? Go Cubs. We need a win. Damn it, we need a win. The last 2 games have been stress-inducing. Go Cubs, go. Zach and Porter says the show is not its best version of itself. Circle Table Guy needed to stay. I agree. Was not its best version of itself. Which is disappointing because it was the first time I've been to the Oak Creek show in like a year and a half. And so what I saw was like a shell of itself. Frustrating. So we're going to talk about that. Angel Baby says, I hear you, Chris. Aaron Judge was down the street doing commercials for the local blood bank since he went to school at CSUF. He's kind of a regular. That's cool. Mark says there's a Total Wine walking distance from my house. They know me by name. There you go. I wish mine was actually might not be good if it was within walking distance. Sal Dougie says, will vouch for Circle Table Guy. And I've done a lot of deals with Circle Table Guy. I didn't yesterday, and it was frustrating why I didn't. Sal Dougie knows the glory of the Circle Table Guy. His powers are majestic. He packed up early yesterday, most likely to save a kitten's life because he is a godly force. So yeah, here's the thing. I walk around and I haven't been to the Oak Creek show in maybe a year and a half. It's been a long time. And so since the last time I went, like they've expanded like rooms and it's just people are in different places. So I don't know where to go. So I'm looking for Circle Table Guy. Actually, I was looking for Cigar, who that's where Zach and Porter, we spent the last half hour or so digging through his boxes, and I just didn't find anything. Last time I went there, I found some great stuff out of his boxes. The last Chicago Spectacular I went to his boxes and found some awesome stuff. Yesterday, didn't find anything. I found like 4 cards, but I ended up just passing because I wanted to buy more. So Circle Table Guy, I looked and he had a box of like $3 autos. And I'm like, I wonder what I can get this price down to. And I kind of know what dealers pay. Like dealers typically pay $1 for autos. Like they're $1 and then they flip them for $3. They'll do volume for like $2 or $2.50. So I kind of know the game. But you never know. If you don't ask, you'll never know. So I didn't ask because I'm like, I'll just swing back by later. I know what he's got. I shopped his table at the National, bought some stuff from him there. I've bought bulk boxes from him in the past. And I'm like, I'll swing back by later. And so I meandered and a lot of the dealers that are set up in Oak Creek also set up at my show. So I know them. Some have in the past, and they're asking like, hey, every time I ask, you're sold out. I'm like, I sell out about 2 weeks in advance. So, but if you reach out to me again, like Friday before the show, I get a lot of movement. I get a lot of movement. So chances are, if you ask me a week out, I'm sold out. But if you ask me a day before, chances are you're going to get in, because I've said this before. When people reach out to me last minute, I know that they have made plans, and I'm not wasting my time. Somebody that reached out 2 weeks ago that has since made other plans. So I always go to the people who reached out closest to the show, first to the, most recently. So I'm bebopping around, talking to different dealers, see Zach and Porter, hang out with them. And Zach and Porter were at a different table. And this is actually like early. Like, I think I got there at 12:30. This is like 1:00 on the dot. And so Zach and Porter are just at a table a few tables away. And I'm like, I'm going to go over to Circle Table Guy. So I go over to Circle Table Guy and I start flipping through boxes. I notice he's already got like a mound of boxes over on the other side piled up. And then there's a guy next to me, and Circle Table Guy like pulls a box away and he's like, I got to get going. I'm like, the show runs until 4 and it's 1. And so that pissed me off. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to spend any money here. So I just left. I just walked away. Circle Table Guy packed up, left early. That was the most frustrating part of it all. By 1:00, people are packing up, and I get it. I get it, because it was slow. Traffic was slow yesterday, at least from the time I got there at 12:30. But the problem with people packing up at this particular show is that a lot of dealers have to bring their own tables. So what you have is dealers packing up not just their stuff, but the tables themselves. And so you're in the gym where it's like the most tables are in the gym. And you've got half the gym empty because people have packed up at 1:30. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So that was annoying. That was really frustrating. And I think that led to me, and I told Zach this as we were looking through, I'm like, I'm just not in the right mindset. And I think it was because I was feeling rushed. Like, if I would have went at 9 a.m., I probably would have been in a better mindset. But I got there at 12:30, and dealers are packing up, especially dealers that I wanted to buy from are leaving early, 3 hours early. And I just like, okay, I'm feeling rushed. I'm not going to spend money. So there you go, dealers. If you want to pack up early and there's still people walking the floor, walking the rooms, don't pack up. I know it's Saturday and it's 90 degrees and it's a beautiful day and there's college football on. Well, guess what? Either don't set up or stick around till 3. Leaving 3 hours early is shitty. Unless it's specified like, hey, I've got to do this. Like, dealers ask me all the time, hey, is it cool if I leave at like noon today? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. But if it's noon, 11 o'clock, and all of a sudden half the dealers are leaving, like it's not as bad because of what I just mentioned about dealers bringing their own tables. Because I was at like, how would you handle like all these dealers leaving so early? And it's like, fortunately, I haven't run in. I'm sure I will. There's going to be a time when card shows start dying off like they were 10 years ago. There's going to be a time where this is going to happen. Right now, it's not happening. But you can't force dealers to stay. If traffic is slow and you're not making any money, I get it. So this is just me being selfish, like, especially because, hey, I wanted to buy stuff from him and he left 3 hours early. That sucks. And that's selfish on me. Maybe he talked to the promoter and said, hey, I've got to leave early. That's okay. But it doesn't look good, right? It doesn't look good. Especially for guys like me that come, in the afternoon. So it's not as bad. Like my show, it's not as bad if dealers leave early because they're not taking tables with them. And it's usually just a couple guys leaving early. So it's and fortunately, in Madison, we haven't really had any times where dealers are packing up like super early, like in mass. Maybe the first couple shows, but that was I had like 17 tables that first show. So that was like I think that put me into like just a shitty mindset where it's like I'm feeling rushed. I still have an hour and a half drive. Like I just want to go home. Like I wasn't feeling it. Which I haven't had that experience at a card show in a long time, which is disappointing. So I was looking I went in and I probably talked about it yesterday morning. Like I took plenty of cash, like enough cash to buy boxes of cards, like bulk. But then when I got there, my mindset shifted a little bit because I've got, I bought a bunch of stuff Wednesday from my guy Steve. I still have bargain boxes to list from the National. I've got plenty of inventory. So what I was looking at is stuff I already have. So it's like, and I think that's why I was so annoyed that Circle Table guy was leaving, because he had stuff that would have benefited my store, like autographs. Like, maybe I can get these down to $2 and put them on for $5. But they were it was a kind of a crapshoot. There were a few in there that I could have made some money, but it's like if I put them at $5, I'm probably going to be taking offers for $4. If somebody buys 7 or more, they get them for $3.75. If I have 2 in them, like all of a sudden it's like I might as well just list my $1.75 cards because the profit margin is going to be about the same. So those are some of the things that are going through my head when I'm buying for inventory. This box that I just showed, there's like decent stuff. Like, and I was looking specifically for players that I know I can sell to some of my customers that pay 25 cents for X player. And it's like, okay, I'm going to look for, let's just throw a random name out, George Brett. But the players I was looking for are in like dollar, like I get 25 cents for them, and I would put them in my 25-cent boxes, but they're in like dollar boxes. So I was seeing a lot of that in bargain boxes where the dollar cards would be in my quarter boxes and the quarter cards would be dime cards if I sold dime cards. So that's a lot of what I was looking at. Again, I went late. I didn't get there till 12:30. James was ahead of me. He got there early and probably got all the deals. And I know I was talking to Bronco. He got a great deal. He found 2 Jackson Holiday First Bowman papers for 25 cents. Those are now up to $15 a pop on eBay. $15 for a First Bowman paper. I had about 250 of them. And I'm still happy that I got an average of $4 a piece for them because I had cents into them. So I was pretty happy with, getting rid of all those. So overall, it was just kind of it was a disappointing card show for me. I didn't find any Cubs, like nothing. That I needed or wanted. The bargain boxes were disappointing. It was just wah, wah. Just didn't find anything. So, because as I was driving, I'm like, you know what? I need to make a point. It's the drive kind of sucks. I was talking to my wife when I got home. I'm like, Milwaukee's a difficult city to navigate. Like there's all now here is how you can tell I'm a small town bumpkin. When I'm saying Milwaukee is difficult to navigate, but I'm like, and my wife put it in perspective because I'm like, there's all these exit ramps and I don't know which exit to take and all blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Chicago's easier to navigate. And my wife goes, well, Chicago's easy because you just take the Kennedy and get off your exit. I'm like, That's true. If I was coming from the south and had to take I-80 and then jump on 55, and then I remember that being difficult. But for me, coming in from Wisconsin, like boom, jump down the Kennedy, which usually I only say that because that's what my wife said. I'd just say I-90, and boom, you're there. It's easy. Milwaukee, I don't know. I've driven to Milwaukee 5 or 6 times, but I get confused. Fortunately, we have good. Remember when we have to mapquest.com and we had to print off paper maps? How did we, before the internet, how in the hell did we get to like 123 Main Street in bumfuck Illinois? Like, how in the hell did we do that before? Like, I think about all these turns I have to take that my GPS in my car just boom knows. It's like, oh man, remember back in the day where we had 3 pages of mapquest.com? And I'm thinking, but what about before then? Like when we had like big maps and atlases in our glove compartments? Like, how in the hell did we navigate to like, how would I get to like the Salvation Army in Oak Creek? Because it's certainly not going to be on an atlas. How did we do that? How did we find places? I do remember when I worked at K100 in Macomb, we were St. Louis Rams because the Rams, when they were in St. Louis, held their summer training camp at Western Illinois University in Macomb. And so my first 2 years, the Rams trained there, and then they started training in St. Louis. And it might have been one of those 2 years, but we were a Rams affiliate on the radio. K100 was the Rams affiliate for games. And so we got like season tickets, and then they would hold like the Rams would host affiliate night. And so they would invite the radio affiliates to a suite and wine you and dine you, fridges full of beer, all kinds of great food. You watch the game in a suite. So I went down to watch the Saints and the Rams at the Edward Jones Dome. And I remember, and this is before Garmin. We had MapQuest, but before Garmin. And I think it took me, normally it would take you, I think, 3 hours to get from St. Louis to Macomb. It took me 5.5 hours because I kept getting lost. I remember going into a gas station, buying a map. I stopped at a gas station, some random gas station. And I'm like, how do I get to the interstate? And they're like, which one? I'm like, I don't know. The one that takes me to Macomb. They're like, I've never heard of it. I remember going into a gas station. I had to buy a freaking map just to get the hell out of St. Louis. Like it's an easy shot. Like I don't know. I think the roundabout turned me off. I wasn't familiar with roundabouts back then. How the hell did we navigate with maps? And you've got like this huge map, like, oh my God, where am I going? Frickin' A. So yeah, I had a little, it was okay. I didn't, there was one point, like, I think what confuses me the most is there's a couple signs that say like, my GPS tells me to take like another exit, but then the signs say, if you're going to Miller Park, you got to take this exit. But my GPS says no. And then there's another one that says to go to Greenfield, take this exit. It's like, no, my GPS says take this other one. I followed my GPS, not your stupid signs, Milwaukee. Fuck your stupid signs, Milwaukee. They're throwing me off. They're making me late. So I followed my GPS. It got me there. We filmed in West Allis for the Card Life. It's actually pretty cool. It's a co-working space. It was a garage in like an alley. It was pretty cool. Like Brandon, who's the producer, sent me the directions, and he's like, when you'll drive in. It's like a downtown. It's downtown West Allis, I guess. And he's like, walk around back, and there's a walkway. And so I parked right on the side, walk around down the alley. There's this garage, and I see this nice little pavers. And all of a sudden I look over. Hey, they're in this garage. this is cool. So we filmed right there in the garage. So we did a segment. So Brandon filmed here at my house on Friday, and then I went there to film with Alex, who flew in from Philadelphia. He's part of Car Dealer Pro, and Matt Strahm from the Phillies and Brewers. I said, I'm go Phillies, because his dad and his brother were there, all card guys. And his dad's like, oh, so you're a Cubs fan? I'm like, yes, but I'm a big Phillies fan tonight and tomorrow. Beat them damn Brewers. So we filmed. Yesterday's segment was more on Card Dealer Pro. So basically, this episode of The Card Life is kind of an update on the 1 Million Cubs project, but it's mainly about my business, selling cards full time, and my eBay business. So, which is like invaluable advertising for my business, which will be huge. So, can't thank Brandon enough for coming over, filming, and having me part of the show. And then we showed Matt how to, run through. So Alex was talking through Car Dealer Pro, talking through the Rico 8170, and then kind of talk to me with, how's it change your business and blah, 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 blah. So you'll see it. I think it comes out, I think the end of this month. I forgot to ask when this episode comes out. I think it's the end of September when it will air, or October. So I'm not sure yet. When I do, I'll let you know. So it was fun. Matt's a really cool guy. So did that filming, and then I headed over to the Oak Creek Card Show. Alex did not come to the card show. He found a flight back to Philly. And I texted him, and I'm like, you didn't miss much. I didn't buy a single card, so you didn't miss much. Speaking of Car Dealer Pro, I don't want to share too much, but I did ask what the future holds. There are some updates coming with Car Dealer Pro, probably in the next 2 months. And I'm excited. I'm not going to share what they are, but you should like them. You should like them. As far as accuracy, I think accuracy will improve, but you may or may not notice improvements in accuracy. The AI, it's not. Remember, it's got to be trained by a human. The AI has to be trained by. It's not like us. We can pick up this Skybox Metal Universe Sabrina Ionescu and be like, oh, that's Skybox Metal Universe Fresh Foundation Sabrina Ionescu. Because we were kind of I was asking about that, and it's pretty in depth. So, but what I was told, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be huge. Like, for efficiency purposes, it'll be huge. So hopefully next month you'll start seeing that. So there's your Car Dealer Pro update. Where we at? Chris, my Giants. Oh wait, my Giants play the Cubs at Wrigley this week in a mega series for the wild card standings, and you're not going. I just can't I don't have the time. I just don't have the time. So we have friends coming over tonight. My eBay. So after I stop this, I've got to ship before our friends come over. I have right now how many items to ship. This is not cards. This is transactions. Items to ship 303. I have 303 packages to ship. So I won't do all 303 today, but I'll hammer out as many as I can before this evening. So and that, that's just going to build, because hopefully people buy more cards from me today and tomorrow and the next day. So I just and I've got to get prepared. I want to bring all new. My goal is to bring new inventory to the next couple card shows. So I want to kind of focus on that. I did, and Zach and Porter and I were talking about this as far as organizing the Cubs stuff. Let me. And Brandon and I were talking about this as well Friday. I need to really think through my process of how I'm going to organize it, my Cubs collection. Because I need, and what Brandon mentioned, he's like, you almost need double the space you have to like, so you can put, hey, if you sort them by year, this is 1989, 1990. I'm probably going to keep, because a lot of it's sorted by players. So I think I'm just going to keep doing that and then maybe break it into team sets. But I think I'm going to continue sorting it by player. But then there's other cards that won't be, like if it's a team set, like my 1974 Wichita Arrows that I just picked up, that's going to stay together. You know, stuff that's like on my wall, like I've got some boxes that I'm going to put all my slabs in. I've been putting binders together of autographs because I do want to like have my autographs separated. And then like my base will all be player sorted. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I need to get rid of a couple more bulk. I need to reach out to my guy and maybe this week I've got an empty back of my car. So maybe before Sunday I can sell him another batch. We'll see. So that's kind of my process for getting the Cubs sorted. I'm getting close to like, I need to like make that. If I don't take the first step, I'm not gonna, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, and it's time to make that first step. So I'm getting close with that. So I've got too many balls in the air. I've got events coming up, so I can't make it. Because it's like an all day thing. Like, because it's not easy getting to Wrigley for me. Because I've got to. I mean, if I drove all the way in, then you got to park and all that bullshit. I like to have a few adult beverages, so I don't want to drive back. So it's like an all day. Because I go, and here's the thing, and I've said this before, it's not about the actual baseball. If I want to watch the game, I've got it on the TV up here, and I can multitask. If I go to Wrigley, it's about the party. Like, I'm going to Wrigley to party. So that's why I don't like going just to, it's an important game, I got to go to Wrigley. Because it's not about the baseball when I go to Wrigley. It's about the atmosphere and drinking beers and eating hot dogs. So that's my thought. Grinding for Good. What's up? Good morning. A Collector's Dream is here. Happy Sunday to you. James says the circle table guy is his first stop in Oak Creek. There you go. Tracy, good morning. Want to go to a sad card show? Go to Oconomowoc. Milwaukee does love its wild interchanges. It's crazy. I haven't learned how to navigate them. Dan, what's up? Atlases, loved them. They were fun. I was a nerdy kid, so I remember I would get the Atlas out and I'd look at something would pop up on TV like Ada, Oklahoma or something, and I'd be like, "Ooh, where's Ada, Oklahoma? Oh, cool." And then I'd look at Illinois, the Illinois state map, and look at all the funny name towns. Disco, Illinois, which is it's not even a town. It's just, there's a few houses and a grain elevator, and that's it. Let's see. Angel Baby Cards is finally how we did it. Paper maps or World Atlas. You know the maps no one could ever fold up. Yes. That was, yeah. Just reading them wasn't the most difficult part. It was folding them back up. And if you've ever seen me wrap a Christmas present, you probably haven't. My wife has. It's not pretty. And that's how I fold maps. Like, man, they're crunched up, balled in the glove compartment. MapQuest, we used paper maps in my day. Many divorces caused over directions. We remember where we are and don't forget. So as we get older, we know our way around. We used paper city maps. Yes, they existed. AAA always had trip tips, so much easier than a map. Conversely, we old guys, as we drive, sit and laugh at the young people who can't navigate without WAS or a smartphone. I'm pretty, if I've been there before, if it's not crazy ass interchanges like Milwaukee, I can typically find my way back. Once you start throwing one ways and like Herman can attest. Where's Herman? Herman can attest. I lived when he came last year. I'd lived here for how many years? 7 years, 8 years, and I still couldn't figure out where I was going in downtown Madison. All these damn one ways, and it's an isthmus. Downtown Madison is an isthmus, so it's not like blocks, right? It's like they're going every direction, every direction. Plan ahead, write it down on paper, and try not to screw up. Then once the inevitable screw up occurs, pull over and read the map again. Has anybody else noticed that since he moved to his new house, Bo is showing his real F word using self? I think it was during the process. It's just like, dropping the F-bombs. Dystemic, what's up? I worked with Matt's aunt in Fargo. Very cool. Very cool. Fargo, underrated city. My younger brother, 9 years, gets lost constantly. Yep, people born after 74 really are a generation behind older adults. Can't even use analog clocks or a stick shift. So, and I grew up after 74, born in 82. So I grew up partially with paper maps and analog clocks. Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with stick shifts. Although my dad's Murray lawnmower was a stick shift, so I did learn how to mow the lawn with a stick. But I grew up reading an analog clock. Now I see an analog clock. I forgot. It's not that I never learned. It's that I learned and later forgot how to read an analog clock because I'm just so used to clock on my computer, clock on my phone. It's 9:46. I grew up with analog. Like that's all we had, except for the VCR that always flashed 12. It was 12 o'clock all the time, according to the VCR. So I had to look at the kitchen clock, which was analog. And now I see an analog clock. It's like, I'm like oh, that's 12 is up here. Is that between the 2 and the 3 or on the 3? So it's like, it's either 2:30 or 3:30. It's a crapshoot on the analog clocks. I've just forgot how to read them. You go to Pittsburgh, it doesn't. If you have Waves, MapQuest, the streets are so close together, it can't compute it quick enough. Oh, that would drive me nuts. My first Pittsburgh trip without a map, I passed by the Pittsburgh Art School 7 times. I have been to Pittsburgh a few times. My wife's family is from Pittsburgh. I never drove in Pittsburgh. And my wife kind of knew how to get around, and my in-laws knew how to get around growing up there. So I don't remember having difficulty navigating Pittsburgh. But I was with people that knew how to get around, and I wasn't driving. So that probably is why. Angel Baby says, yes, notice that as well. Kind of happens the more men become established. Honestly, just yesterday afternoon, I was at Walmart buying team set cards. Young, stupid clerk couldn't even pay attention. Said to him, are you brain dead? What did he say back? Yes. Dystemic says, my OCD method of sorting my twins, there's no way you'd be able to do a new sort with your cubs that way. Probably not. I am it's difficult for me to like sit down and sort because like, oh, hey, squirrel. That's why, like, it's not, if it's stuck, and I'm trying to figure the words here. If I'm sorting this box, which is random, it's marked like what it is, like some archives, some heritage, miscellaneous. Like it's like, ooh, miscellaneous. What's miscellaneous? And this is fun for me. This is therapeutic. Like, oh, okay, so these are stars of MLB inserts. Oh, there's Bo Bichette. He's one of the guys that my customer buys. Oh, there's another Bo Bichette. So this is fun for me. Like, I like this. Oh, another Bo Bichette's all over the place. So this is fun. Aaron Judge, Mookie, Walker Buehler, Mitch Haniger, Salvador Perez, Joey Votto. Okay, this is fun. I like this. Oh, Cody Bellinger. But if it's a stack of just a whole box of like 2022 tops, can I pull them out? Then it gets like, and they're all commons. And this is what I get. This is how I feel when I'm sorting Cubs. It's like, okay, I've seen enough 88 Donruss. I'm tired. And it's not like, and that's when I get bored, and that's why I haven't really organized my Cubs, because I get distracted too easily. And that's why I love looking through unsorted, or not really unsorted, but unorganized bargain boxes. I think John from John Newman, Sports Card Nation, had a poll, and he's like, what would you prefer a bargain box, by player or by team? And I said, neither. If they're sorted by team or by player, I'm walking away. And I literally did that twice yesterday. There were a couple bargain boxes. One was by player last name, and I'm like, well, I don't even know who I'm looking for. So I'm just, but I guess if you're looking for Aaron Judge, just look for Aaron Judge in the Jays. But for me, I like it's like, oh God, now I've got to think. And so, see, all of our brains are wired differently. So to somebody else, they're like, well, I don't want to dig through a bunch of Aaron Judge, Bo Bichette, Chris Bryant if I'm looking for Ronald Acuna. I'm just going to go to the A's and look for Acuna. Okay, no Acunas. I'm walking to the next table. But for me, it's like, not going to do it too much work for my brain. I'm going to the next table, and I'll spend more time looking, because I'm not looking for anything specific. And I think that's why I'm not looking for anything specific. Well, what about if you're, and I think John replied, like, not even Cubs? No, because usually, do I stop and look? I'll flip through, and it's like, okay, these are all base. I have them. If they're like autographs and refractor, like colored refractors, serial numbers, then I'll probably stop and look. But if it's just base and inserts, I don't know. I already have them. So I'm not looking for them. So that's kind of my thought process when I come across bargain boxes. Typically, I'm looking for deals. And that's what I see a lot of people that come to my bargain boxes. Are you looking for anything specific? Most of them say no. And what are they looking for? They're looking for a 25-cent card they can sell for $3, just like I do when I shop bargain boxes. Now, every once in a while, there are people that come, I'm looking for Tom Glavine. I'm looking for Atlanta Braves. I'm looking for Cubs. Cubs is easy. There's none in here. You're looking for Tom Glavine or the Braves. Well, there's 12 boxes. Start digging. They're in there somewhere, and I honestly don't know where they're at. And those people walk away. You're going to lose customers either way, because a lot of the people that dig through my bargain boxes probably wouldn't dig if they were sorted in some type of order, whether it be team. And some people are looking for, do you have any 81 Fleer? Yeah, there might be a few in there, but it's not worth your time digging. Somebody wants Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah, there's a bunch in here, but I don't know where they're at. That might make it worth your while. There's plenty in here. So that's my thought process when it comes to bargain boxes. Dystemic says, should check out Minnesota, 2 towns within miles of each other, Climax and Fertile. Chris says, setting the time on the VCR was so complicated, we mostly just gave up. My mom still doesn't know how to work a VCR. And DVDs passed her up, and now it's on to streaming. And so I think she's kind of figured that out. Like, once you get it set up, it's pretty easy. It's just the setting is the difficult part. How do I get this set up? Low Roller Scratcher has a sports update for us. USA basketball lost to Lithuania in the World Cup. Andy Mack, I teach middle school. At least 75% of kids can't read analog clocks. I'm probably with them. I forgot how to read analog clocks. It's not that they weren't taught it. It just isn't a necessary skill anymore, just like cursive writing. Absolutely. Like, why do we need analog clocks? It's not that kids are dumb. They're actually smart. It's efficiency. Digital is efficient. Why spend 3 seconds reading a clock when you can spend a millisecond? Oh, 9:54. We've become efficient. Let's see. Angel Baby says his response, goofy speak, absolute Mike Lindell, my pillow, goofy buyer speak. We tease that goofy buyer with his big open eyes relentlessly. eBay gets 63-cent PWE shipping, but Mercari gets 60. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that. Tells me eBay is charging sellers an extra 3 cents for shipping. No way Mercari gets a better rate than eBay. I wonder if Mercari just has an up because that change just was implemented, what, a month ago, 2 months ago? I wonder if Mercari just hasn't updated the shipping and they're actually losing 3 cents. I don't know. How many free listings left? Since you got 60,000 free listings, it is time for you to do variation. No, even when I get to 60,000 listings, and I've mentioned this many times, I'm not doing variation listings. They suck. Don't do them. Well, there are exceptions. I think I have 44,000. So I've still got quite a ways. Also scheduling a VCR to record. Oh, wasn't that the worst? Oh man, the Simpsons Christmas special or Halloween special comes on. I want to record it. And if you've got it set to like East Coast time or the wrong time, or because you didn't adjust the clock during daylight savings and it recorded Herman's head instead. Oh. Or even worse, like trying to record something and it recorded like the news. Ugh. It was always fun to start what you thought you taped, and then it was the wrong time, and you had an hour of Mama's Family. There you go. Yes. Ugh. When I went to the big spring training card show in Phoenix in March, I spent an hour going through a seller's box of twins. There you go. See, we all like have our own different ways of shopping. The milkman's in the house. Good morning. My OCD organized in set than 5 $10 boxes. There you go. That boy was dumb as the day is long. I almost feel bad, but that young man must have been baked. Sal Dougie says, I picked up 2 Tom Glavine from you last month, but only one. Was the other a Met? I think was that the only 2 teams he played for, Tom Glavine? I think he only played for the Braves and Mets. Card I am looking for is, LOL, 5th Z-Box 102827 ABCKY. Going to argue that when it's a more visual way to gauge where and what is based on a range, whereas with digital, you're given a number when it requires additional thought. But I don't understand that though. Like, if I want to know what time it is, why should I spend 2 seconds when I can spend 1 second? It's more efficient. Like, it shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't think out like what time it is, analog clock. Like, and it's not even like a critical thinking issue. Maybe a little bit more than looking at a digital clock. I don't know. What's up? Baseball card curmudgeon in the house. Sal Dougie confirms 1 was a Met. Let's see. FE. When I see an analog gauge, I know almost instantly where what is. And that's, I guess if it works for you, it works for you. For me, it's like, what the hell time is it? Is it 2:30 or is it 3:30? I don't know because the hands on the clock are in a confusing position. I had an analog clock when the home I lived in Macomb, and it stopped working like a year because it was one of those like Target or Walmart clocks. They last for like a year and then the analog stops working. Another reason analog sucks. So it would stop. It would stop at like 5:20. So it was right twice a day. And I kept that clock on the wall because it was a nice decoration. It looked good in that spot. I kept it there for like 5 years. Never worked. Well, it worked twice a day. Never worked. Let's see. 2 schools of thought. There you go. Johnny M says, when the nation power grid gets knocked out, lots of folks won't know what time it is. Hey, there you go. There you go. Let's see. So that's what I had for today. Happy Sunday. I've got to get to shipping. I need another cup of coffee. Hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. I think I added some tops. What did I add? Some tops heritage 2022 tops heritage yesterday. I'm going to focus on shipping today, over 300 items to ship. So I've got to get going on that. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. It's a nice episode 969 Monday morning. Get your week started. We'll be back on at the same time, or not the same time as today, but the same time as a weekday, 7 a.m. Central. Again, like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.